Hey, I got these truthburgers, man. Want some?
No,
You can't handle the truth.
I just want to be in my safe space.
Once upon a time, a rich, privileged orange man ran for president and won. This scared a bunch of other rich, privileged pricks who considered the orange one to be one of the worst human beings in existence, since he who should not be named.
No, you mustn't say it. You make me afraid of myself.
So the oppressed elites decided it was incumbent upon them to put down their latte macchiatos and band together to combat the Orange Army and the evil empire known as the United States of Social Injustice, a place so evil that it forced some of the oppressed elites to work jobs like this and make money like this and live in houses like these.
No, please, no more.
So how did the oppressed elites fight back, you might be wondering? By making every straight white guy a thing of the past.
You know, if you haven't already noticed, me and my brother Ollie do not shy away from pointing out the elephant in the room, from kicking feminist themes in the nuts.
I have a terrible secret.
Well, Cindy, we all have our little secrets.
To calling out liberal Hollywood's obsession with emasculating black men and men in general. There's no bullshit that really gets past us. However, there's one more elephant too big to ignore. As a matter of fact, it has shitted all over our great room and the stench is now unbearable. That elephant is liberal Hollywood's demonization, vilification, radicalization, emasculation, and everything evil sounding ending with a shun of white males. That's right, folks. The days of men like Sean Connery, Clint Eastwood, and Arnold Schwarzenegger leading a blockbuster movie are long gone. Unacceptable for today's modern audiences. Just the mention of having a straight white male anywhere near front and center of anything besides the line to a public hanging brings out the beast, the pink-haired, easily offended, politically correct, feminist, liberal beast. Suffice to say, people, modern liberal Hollywood openly despises straight white males.
Despite many of these oppressed elites being white themselves, being a straight white male on the big or small screen in 2024 is equivalent to being an Arab character after 9/11.
Durka, Muhammad Jihad, Haka Sherpa, Bakala. Oh, Durka.
The entertainment business is having an easier time normalizing the most bizarre shit such as Netflix's Cuties than explaining why they can't cast a heterosexual white dude in a role where he isn't a villain or beta buffoon. In this video, we will examine and expose how modern Hollywood purposefully demonizes and emasculates white men in film and TV, how their idea of diversity includes replacing, sometimes completely erasing, white male characters, a trend we see spreading into video games, even commercials as well. And as we have promised, we will not shy away from covering what others are afraid to acknowledge. So buckle up, folks, as your two favorite inbreds join forces once again to deliver judgment upon all of these liberal assholes.
In the name of Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
I execute judgment on you.
All anyone cares about in this place are these white, privileged assholes.
The first trend we often see in entertainment today is that if he's straight and white, he ain't right. If you watch anything mainstream now, it won't take you too long to figure out who the bad guy is. Just look in the direction of the straight white male, it seems. From Frank Underwood in House of Cards, to Bryce Walker in 13 Reasons Why, to Todd Phelps in She-Hulk, make no mistake about it, people. There's no shortage of these misogynistic, homophobic, racist villains who get away with crimes due to their white privilege. What can we say? White men are scary. Ah, what the actual fuck?
Now, before anybody gets butthurt, nobody's saying you can't have white men as villains, but one can't deny the fact that the overwhelming majority of them have some negative political and/or social themes tied to their characters that modern liberals are obsessed with associating heterosexual white men with. The latest season of True Detective, entitled Night Country, should serve as a symbolism for the hate that liberal Hollywood has for straight white guys. And it comes in the form of Chief of Police, strong white woman Liz Danvers, and Mike Tyson lookalike Trooper Navarro.
You broke my fucking nose!
Miss, are you pressing charges?
Hey, what are you doing?
Putting us all out of our misery.
The fuck you are? She's still drunk.
So, well, drive her home.
I'm not letting a still drunk DUI out just because sometimes she blows you.
You go back to your fucking search and get rid of your hillbilly friends. You're getting a negligence report for your mishandling of the Kotak case.
Maybe I ought to file a report on you for playing Mrs. Robinson with my kid.
Why? You do your fucking job.
It does not help that all of this happens against the backdrop of an environmentalist message about how harmful the Silver Sky mine is for the indigenous people of Alaska. Who works in these mines, you ask? White men. It's white males who also happen to work in the Salal lab, a lab whose researchers are ultimately responsible for the murder of Annie.
Oh no, Annie.
Native American girl and activist living in the town. The themes on violence against indigenous women and discriminating natives and polluting the environment are all placed at the feet of white male characters and nobody else. They are to blame for everything. And unsurprisingly, the majority of good characters consist of minority women. A Native American woman, a LGBTQ girl, more Native American woman, and they are all led by the unshaken, guiding hand of the strong white woman, who along with her partner Mike Tyson cover up not one, but 2 murders. But that's okay, because it was 2 white guys anyway, so fuck them.
The recent entries in the Scream franchise, a couple of movies Aiden and I watched on our plane ride to Las Vegas, also follow this anti-white guy motto.
Hey, it's okay, it's me.
You know that part in horror movies where you want to yell at the characters to be smart and get the fuck out? This is that part, Richie. You should get the fuck out.
But I'm staying. I love you.
Gee, I wonder who the mastermind behind the Ghostface killings could possibly be this time around. Okay, well, at least he doesn't make any comments reminiscent of an online incel.
Nobody takes the true fans seriously. Not really. They just laugh at us. And why? Because we love something? We're just a fucking joke to them? How can fandom be toxic? It's about love. They don't fucking understand these movies are important to people.
Wasn't that hard for me to find you in Modesto? It wasn't that hard for me to fuck you either. But I guess being a sexually available woman is supposed to be empowering these days.
Well, maybe that's just a coincidence. Let's take a look at the very diverse Scream 6.
They took me off the case, but I'm not gonna stop until I find you. You fuck with my family, you die.
No way.
Great job, both of you.
You?
And of course me.
Wait a sec, Ollie. How about this guy? He's not a villain.
Yo, Liv, you want a real drink? Or you happy sitting at this kid's table?
Listen up. Ugly or Michael Myers. It was a summer fling, all right? It meant nothing.
Liv, let's go.
Listen, don't you fucking talk to her. I don't want to fucking hear your goddamn voice.
Better shut the fuck up.
Help. I guess he's just an automatic asshole because he's a white guy, which means it's okay to kill him off. And although both Scream 5 and 6 have white female villains too, Hollywood just can't help themselves. So there always has to be a white male villain as the real mastermind behind everything, especially when it comes to tormenting minority protagonists. Now, you might be thinking that we're grasping at straws here, so let's delve into a couple of more sophisticated examples, shall we? The hit Canadian action drama Robin Hood has a very diverse cast living in a tower with even more diverse tenants. I wonder who could be the villain out of all these diverse folks.
Sherwood could be a home for the people that count.
You want me to betray my own voters?
I want to give you better ones.
Of course, a corrupt white real estate developer trying to kick out the poor minorities from their homes. Oh shit, a cast of very diverse women. Could it be that one of them is...
Wow, it's a reunion. Sorry about shooting you.
It's okay. I survived. Not sure you will.
Why even bother?
A cis white man can't really understand.
Whatever happened to regular bad guys that just wanted to rob some money? Now every villain seems to be copy and pasted from a book of dark fairy tales written for purple-haired feminists who like to read to their dogs.
Why write this garbage? How can anyone think this is entertaining?
Come to think of it, how the fuck did Mom afford that flight to Las Vegas?
Well, she said a very special friend paid for it.
The online one?
Yep, that one. He's always buying stuff from her. Mom never lets me see what exactly she sells, though.
Dude, who cares? Our mom's an entrepreneur.
OnlyFans, sell my farts. I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
Like I said to one of my clients, when I'm done, you can stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and it won't cost you a thing.
Is this tab coming due anytime soon? Even I've got my limits.
This ultra-woke trend of depicting the heteronormative, cisgendered white man as the enemy of the world can be traced back to 2015 to 2016, when Donald Trump ran for and won the presidency. Now, in hindsight, could one point out woke themes in entertainment before Trump announced his presidency? Perhaps. Is it possible that Hollywood would have still gone down this route had Hillary Clinton won back in 2016 instead? Sure, but I think it's fair to say that Trump accelerated Hollywood's agenda. For some fucking reason, this guy who was once loved by the same liberal elites who now shame him became the poster boy for every ism or phobe you could think of. He became the boogeyman for liberal Hollywood. Now, Aiden and I aren't particularly fond of any political candidate, but to assume that Trump is anywhere near as bad as he who should not be named is bullshit propaganda. For almost 10 years now, anybody who doesn't 100% agree with modern liberal politics is considered some radical white supremacist MAGA supporter because only straight white dudes vote for the orange one. It's perplexing to think that this one guy scared Hollywood so much that to this day they cannot stop creating content attacking him.
No more mutants!
Could you not have been more on the nose?
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
Fuck you, fascist! Yeah! Yeah!
All right. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
This is America's sheriff issuing a call to arms.
Rally right here on me. We'll show these godless Huns how a patriot dies a-singing.
Shame on me for even asking.
Seriously, Hollywood, just go ahead and tell us who to fucking vote for. You know you wanna.
Whether it's a fictional series set in space, comic book movie, or a sitcom based on an exaggerated account of a comedian's life.
This is an image that will be in the history books.
You under arrest for violation of the Election Integrity Act.
Oh no, you're making a big mistake!
Cannot escape from Hollywood's obsession with Trump. The trauma is real. Imagine if he wins in 2024. Somebody better check on Jimmy Kimmel.
Please welcome Jimmy Kimmel.
Finally we meet. You actually do exist. What? Don't be ridiculous, Franklin. I've read the files. The doctor is a man.
I've had an upgrade. Hi.
On this channel, we've touched on numerous times the topic of gender and race swapping pre-established characters. The reason this happens is because the majority of these characters are straight white men who are no longer acceptable for modern times. Hollywood believes that deconstructing and erasing the past is the answer to achieving equality and justice for all. Creating new, original, diverse characters with compelling storylines? Fuck that shit. We want a female Captain America, a black female Captain Kirk, a Chinese non-binary Batman. In the critically acclaimed 2013 video game The Last of Us, the protagonist is Joel. 10 years later, you can see that this is an issue for our Starbucks drinking friends. So Joel gets recast as a Latino man played by Pedro Pascal. Now let's take a look at Fantastic Four's leader, Mr. Fantastic himself. Too white. Much better.
You know, Pedro Pascal should just be cast in anything that's too white, like the Brady Bunch, for example. Anyways, another thing we've talked about many times is the deconstruction of beloved legacy characters. Many of these characters are straight white dudes who are fueled with too much toxic masculinity for today's Hollywood standards. However, even lovable, kind-hearted, clumsy characters like Dewey from the Scream franchise aren't spared from liberal Hollywood's wrath. In Scream 5, the dude is a loser living in a trailer who watches Gale Weathers on his TV all day. Hell, he doesn't even get her back as he's killed off, only for the writers to pair old-ass Courtney Cox with a much younger black boyfriend in Scream 6. Might as well have had Gale bang a dude on Dewey's grave.
And if you're one of the creators of Star Wars The Acolyte series, and you don't want any white men on your show, period.
These white men are dangerous.
Wayne, I'm the deep pockets here. So why they think I'd break the bank for some low-rent skirt my son knocked up?
Hey, Mom, that's my wife you're talking about.
Don't be a baby. You're at the grown-up table.
In the few occasions where a straight white man is cast as a good guy, he's blessed with the role of being an uber beta pussy and the butt of every joke.
Arm up, okay? Pepper spray, check. Taser, check.
Girlfriend repellent? Check.
Something that can be said about most male characters in film and TV today, regardless of race or ethnicity. However, one thing that's exclusive to the white beta good guy character is that he gets to take criticism in regards to his race with a smile on his face. Oh, and the people shitting on him are strong female characters of all backgrounds, of course.
I found him.
How?
It's called Muckluck Telegraph. Not for white boys.
Referring back to True Detective Season 4, Peter Pryor is the only good white guy in the series, but he's not exempted from being a punching bag for the women.
Yeah, sorry, we can't turn that off. There's no buttons. Can't find a remote. That does not open. Those don't open either. Look at that.
You take Darwin to see Santa yet?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Oh, dude, you better be. Or else Kayla's gonna kick your pink ass.
You're such a white boy. How the hell did I fall for a white boy?
I don't know, Kayla. Perhaps you should have gotten yourself a strong, masculine, white female lesbian instead. When does Peter actually grow a pair? When it comes to killing his evil white man of a father, Hank, and helping Liz cover up his murder.
That's your dad. Listen, you clean good. Then get the bodies to Rose Agnew. Tell her I said take you to Julia. Say it.
Take me to Julia.
The message here is clear. The only acceptable heterosexual white character is one who knows his place among the women and takes his scolding like a good boy.
But I'm not done yet.
In Fargo Season 5, when John Hamm's Roy Tillman character isn't being a direct representative of the scary orange man and his MAGA supporters.
Maybe you weren't paying attention, but I am the law around here.
So you said.
Removable only by the governor or my constituents, who love me, by the way, because I say what I want and I do as I please. And I know the difference between right and wrong.
Don't you mean legal and illegal?
We got the only good white guy on the show, Wayne. A dude so unbelievably beta that he doesn't even seem like a real person, let alone a man. He's a non-confrontational nice boy who spends most of the season either unconscious or taking care of his daughter, while his 95-pound wife, Dorothy, handles an army like she's John Rambo. And don't even get us started on his mother, Lorraine.
Let me guess. The last time you negotiated with a woman was over the price of a Tijuana blowjob. How much to stick it in your asshole? That kind of thing.
Now, hold on just a second, lady.
You see, right there. I'm going to knock 10 million off my offer because you called me lady. But if you hate women more than you love money, I'll just take my millions elsewhere.
Oh, this old bitch needs some dick.
Wayne's an acceptable straight white boy because he's allergic to testosterone.
Oh, you're such a gentle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to play floor hockey in my socks with Scotty again and watch Real Housewives.
Wow. Reforming your greatest enemy. Can't say I've ever done that. Maybe MJ was right. Why would the city need me when it has you?
We see what you're doing there, Insomniac Games. Holly and I usually talk about movies and shows on this channel, but we wanted to devote a section of this video to how this anti-straight white guy sentiment has spread to other avenues such as gaming and advertising. The Spider-Man 2 game, for example, while fun to play, is more of a Spider-Man and Friends game than a solo Peter Parker story. You play a lot of missions as characters other than Peter, and he constantly praises Miles and Mary Jane, while being apologetic throughout the story.
Miles, I'm sorry. Thank you for everything. You're so cool.
I can cover the mortgage.
I don't deserve you.
Where's your fucking balls?
It's like the game developers resent that he is supposed to be the main character of his own fucking game.
We mentioned earlier The Last of Us swapping out Joel for a Latino man in the TV series. Well, the game's sequel killed him off completely and made the story about a lesbian teenager versus a muscle-bound She-Hulk and some trans kid. Hell, some companies don't want white male characters in their games at all. Just take a look at Unleashed Games CEO Irina Pereira, who openly boasted about having no white male characters in an upcoming game titled Haven. How can stuff like this be seen as okay? Imagine if a white guy bragged about having no women or people of color in their game or movie script.
Another trend we see is advertisements. Everywhere you look, you'll see an interracial couple, where more often than not, it's the white guy who's excluded from the fabulous product that's being advertised. That'll show that damn patriarchy.
And now it matters because it's a bunch of white men?
No, Mike Tyson, that's not the reason. Although we are sure that there are people who will immediately label anyone who brings this topic up as a racist, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, radical white supremacist, alt-right Trump-supporting religious fanatic incel. Believe what you want, but this agenda has been hidden in plain sight for all to see.
And once you do see it, it will be hard to forget, like the first time you saw your uncle get drunk outside of your house, jump on top of your old man's car and wave his wiener around.
Whoa, what the fuck? Where did that come from? The point is that this woke trend is not some made-up right-wing conspiracy theory. Back in 2023, in an interview for Esquire, actor Kumail Nanjiani shared how as a man of color it was difficult to land a role as a villain because Hollywood only wants to cast white dudes for that. Again, we ask, imagine if the script were flipped. Just think about how outraged these liberal nutjobs would get. The Orange Scare converted Hollyweird into a place where a bunch of privileged elites who are mainly white felt that they had to become activists and social justice warriors. So what we end up with is content where only straight white dudes can get criticized like this.
The Altar is the greatest masterpiece that I will ever make. And knowing that I never wrote it, but telling the world that I did, knowing my success is a lie.
Just like every other mediocre white man.
And only white guys can be dealt with like this by strong women.
Are you pressing charges?
What?
Damn right she is.
And only white men get corrected by strong women like this.
Shouldn't you ask Arisham first? We're a team, we should stay together.
I didn't ask you for your advice, Icarus. Do not forget your place.
And only the white man is a traitor who can't be trusted.
I'm sorry.
I am sure that white audiences, especially men, are ecstatic to watch movies lecturing them on how they're the worst thing in the world. The entire industry is burning money like Joker in The Dark Knight.
It's not about money, it's about sending a message.
The Pushback is well underway by folks who no longer want anything to do with this shit ever since they began noticing. And who can blame them? Who in their right mind wants to pay money to hear how much their demographic sucks? Anybody can be a good villain if they know how to play the part, and if the set part is written well. Be it Robert De Niro as Max Cady in Cape Fear, or Denzel Washington as Alonzo Harris in Training Day. This walking on eggshells due to fear of how audiences will receive a minority villain opposite a white male hero is part of the problem. It says that we are still looking at things through a racial lens instead of just making a movie for entertainment purposes. Trying to erase white male heroes of prior generations by race and gender swapping them says that you're stuck in the past while lacking creativity for new ideas. It shows a lack of maturity to lay the blame for all of the world's problems on one group while portraying everybody else as victims. And this treatment is exclusive to straight white men, because most times white women are portrayed as heavenly saints, victims of the evil patriarchy. And how often have we seen a gay white male villain? None of this is creating diversity. What it is promoting is more division. Lastly, Hollywood, get over your obsession with Donald Trump. The guy's not your end-all be-all, but your failure to make good content will be.
What the fuck did I do wrong?
I'll tell you what's wrong. You're a cisgendered, heteronormative, white male. That's what's wrong. Whoa!